Hello student, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to discuss about force on a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field, and also we will discuss about torque on a current carrying coil in a magnetic field. So before watching this video, student, make sure you have watched all videos of magnetic effect of current so that you can understand the topic clearly. Okay, so let's start this video with first topic, force on a current carrying conductor in a uniform magnetic field. Okay, so student, we know that current through a conductor is due to the motion of free electron in conductor in a definite direction. We have studied about it in current electricity chapter. Clear? So when such a conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. Clear? Each electron moving in this conductor experience a force. Hence, the current carrying conductor experience a force that we have to discuss in this video. Right? So let us start expression for current carrying conductor in a uniform magnetic field. So for this, consider a conductor of length L, area of cross section A. Current I is flowing through this conductor. This conductor is placed in a magnetic field, right? Okay. So this is a conductor which is placed in magnetic field. Magnetic field is this. Okay. So now force experienced by each electron in the conductor is F equal to minus E V D cross B. Here VD is drift velocity and B is magnetic field and E is charge on electron. We have discussed about this force in previous video. Okay. So this force experienced by each electron is F equal to minus E Vd cross B. If N is the number of density of electron, A be the area of cross section as I told you, and the total number of electron in element dl is given by NaDl, right? So the force experienced by the electron in dl is given by, this is df equal to Na, number of electron into force of each electron, which is given by minus E Vd cross B. So now put this value in this equation. df equal to NaDl into minus E Vd cross B, right? Now this is minus NeVDE. I hope this is clear to you. Now from this equation, we can write I into dl cross B. Okay. So we know that relation between electric current and drift velocity. What is this relation? This relation is current equal to N E A V D, right? So this N E A V D equal to I. We can write N E A V D equal to I. Clear? And we can write this equation I L equal to N E A V D into L. Clear? So here IL vector is a current element that we have discussed in previous video, in which we were discussing about Biot-Savart's law. Clear? So here IL vector as current element vector. It acts in the direction of flow of current. Clear? So from this equation we can write IL vector equal to NeAVD into L. So from this we can write I dl vector equal to n e a v d into dl, right? So from this, next equation will be I dl cross b. Okay, I dl cross b. So now force experienced by this conductor of length L is given by integration of df. Integration of df is I dl cross b. So on integrating this equation, we will get integration of dl is L and b is constant. This is uniform magnetic field, right? So we can write this equation F equal to I L cross B, or we can write this F equal to I L B sine theta. I hope this is clear to you. Force experienced by current carrying conductor in a uniform magnetic field. Clear, where theta is the angle between current element and B. B is magnetic field. Clear? So there are some special cases for about this force. So if first case is if theta is 0 degree or 180 degree, we can write theta is 0 degree or 180 degree. So we know that sine 0 or sine 180 degree is equal to 0, right? So from this we will get force experienced by this conductor is 0. Clear? So we can say a linear conductor carrying a current if placed parallel to the direction of magnetic field experience no force, right? And if theta is 90 degree, in other case, if we take theta is 90 degree, then we know that sine 90 is 1. So from this, we will get F equal to ILB. So it means that if a linear conductor carrying a current is placed perpendicular to direction of magnetic field, it experiences maximum force, right? At 0 angle or 180 degree angle, current carrying conductor experience minimum force, and at 90 degree, it experience maximum force. I hope this is clear to you. And direction of this force is given by Fleming's left hand rule or right hand screw rule. So what is Fleming's left hand rule? So we know that according to this rule, the forefinger, central finger and the thumb of left hand are stretched mutually perpendicular to each other, such that the forefinger points along the direction of magnetic field, the central finger along the direction of current or the direction of motion of the positive charge, then the thumb will be along the direction of the force. Clear? So we can find the direction of this force applying Fleming's left hand rule. Clear? So now let's start force between two parallel infinitely long current carrying conductor. So over here, there are two conductor PQ and RS. This conductor PQ and this is RQ are placed parallel to each other at a distance R. Clear? So two conductors are placed parallel to each other carrying current I1 and I2. I1 current is flowing through conductor PQ and I2 current is flowing through conductor RS. Clear? These two conductors are placed parallel to each other at a distance R. The magnetic field produced due to current through each conductor shown separately in next slide, right? Since each conductor is magnetic field produced by other, therefore each conductor experience a force. Okay. So magnetic field induction at point, this point. Magnetic field induction at this point on conductor RS or conductor RS due to current I1 passing through conductor PQ is given by, this is clear. Magnetic field on RS due to conductor PQ is given by B1 equal to mu naught I1 upon 2 pi R, right? So according to right hand screw rule, the direction of this magnetic field will be as current perpendicular to the plane of the paper, that is directly inward, right? So according to right hand screw rule, magnetic field will be in directed inward. Since conductor PQ, current flowing is in upward directions. So if we apply right hand screw rule, if current flowing in upward direction, magnetic field will be in anti-clockwise direction. It will be in directed inward, right? So magnetic field B1 will be in inward direction of the curve on the conductor RS. So I hope this point is clear to you. Let's draw magnetic field lines due to conductor PQ so that you can understand it easily. In this, current is flowing in upward direction, so magnetic field will be in anti-clockwise. Something like this. So for conductor RS, we see that magnetic field is inward. Such this, right? So for conductor RS, magnetic field will be directed inward. So I hope this point is clear to you. Now, due to this magnetic field, conductor RS experience a force, right? So force acting on RS due to current I2 through it is given by, we have already discussed about force on a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field is given by F equal to IL B sine theta, right? So force acting on RS due to current I2 is given by F equal to, we can write F equal to I2 L and B1, right? I2L B1. So now put the value of B1 from above equation. We will get F21 force on RS due to I2. Due to current I2 is I2I sine 90. Clear? Here conductor carrying current is placed perpendicular to direction of magnetic field. So we have taken 90-degree angle, right? So it will be mu naught I1 2 pi R into I2L sine 90, or we can write F21 equal to mu naught I1 I2L upon 2 pi I R, 2 pi R. So I hope this is clear to you. Now B1 acts perpendicular and into plane or plane the diagram by right hand thumb rule. So the angle between I and B is 90 degree, as I told you. L is the length of the conductor. Clear? Now, according to Fleming's left hand rule, the direction of this force experienced by RS will be towards conductor PQ. F21 is towards conductor PQ as shown in this figure, right? So it means if two lead, okay. Now for conductor PQ, the magnetic field on PQ due to current RS is given by, as we have done in previous case, B2 is equal to mu naught I2 upon 2 pi R. Clear? So in this, let's draw magnetic field for conductor RS. It will be this. So in this case, we see that magnetic field is outward, right? Opposite to previous case. Clear? So we see that magnetic force field on PQ due to RS is given by B2 equal to mu naught I2 upon 2 pi R. I hope this is clear to you. How we get magnetic field due to both conductor and how we will get force experienced by each conductor, right? So magnetic field due to RS is given by mu naught I2 upon 2 pi R, right? Now due to the in the current conductor PQ is kept in this magnetic field. So force experienced by conductor PQ carrying current I1 is given by F12, which is F12 is mu naught I2 upon 2 pi R I1 L sine theta. Sine theta is sine 90 degree. Theta is 90 degree here. Since conductor is placed perpendicular to direction of magnetic field. So sine 90 is 1. We can write this equation F12 equal to mu naught I1 I2 L upon 2 pi R. The angle between I and B2 is 90 degree and B2 is emerging out, as I told you, right? So since we see that from above two equation, force F21 and F12, F21 and F12 both are equal, right? So these forces mu I1, I2, L upon 2 pi R, right? Now we know the direction of magnetic force. F21 is towards PQ, right? And apply Fleming's left U, find the direction of force F12. So it will be in towards RS conductor. Clear? It means that two linear parallel conductor carrying currents in the same direction attract each other. Clear? Now, if we take two conductor in which current is flowing in opposite direction, right? Let's see in this figure, there are two figures. In first figure, we see that current flowing same direction in both conductor, PQ and RS. For first case, as we have done, magnetic field line due to PQ is given by this, right? And magnetic field lines due to RS is, we can draw magnetic field lines this. So direction of this magnetic field line this, and direction of magnetic field due to RS is. So we see that force on PQ and force on RS both will be in the direction of PQ and RS. We can see force on PQ due to RS is given by in this direction. Force on RS due to PQ is given by in this direction. We have already discussed about it. The direction of force is given by Fleming's left hand rule. So in this case, conductor experience force towards each other, right? and hence they will attract. So I'm thinking you are getting my point. Now for the second case, we see that over here in two conductor current is flowing in opposite direction. In conductor PQ, current is flowing in upward direction, and in conductor RS, current is flowing in downward direction. So due to these two directions, magnetic field for conductor PQ is this, and for RS is, for this current is anti-clockwise, for PQ is current is anti-clockwise, and for RS is current is clockwise direction, right? So in these two cases, we see that magnetic field is inward, right? So if we apply Fleming's left hand rule, the conductor experience force away from each other. So they repel each other. Clear? So if two conductors which are in opposite direction, in conductor current flowing in opposite direction, they repel each other with the same force. Clear? So I hope this is clear to you. Now, what is the due to this force? What is the definition of ampere? Now we will find the definition of ampere. So in formula F equal to mu naught over that we have drawn F equal to we have already drawn this formula F equal to mu naught I1 I2 upon 2 pi R into L, right? Mu naught upon 2 pi R into L. So from this, we can write this equation F upon L equal to mu naught I1 I2 upon 2 pi R, this equation. Okay. So if we take I1 I2 is 1 ampere and R is 1 meter. Clear? And then force per unit length is 2 into 10 raised to power minus 7 Newton per meter. So 1 ampere is that current which, if passed in each of two parallel conductor of infinite length and placed 1 meter apart in vacuum, causes each conductor experience a force of 2 into 10 raised to power minus 7 Newton per meter of length of the conductor, right? So what is the definition of 1 ampere? We can say 1 ampere is that much current which when flowing through each of the two parallel uniform long linear conductor placed in a free space at a distance of 1 meter from each other will attract or repel each other with a force of 2 into 10 raised to power minus 7 Newton per meter of their length. I hope this is clear to you. Now over here you see two diagram which represents the field due to two parallel conductor, right? That we have discussed about it. So in previous conductor, in this case, we see that current flowing in same direction both these two conductor. We have found that if the current in two conductor is flowing in same direction which are kept in parallel to each other at a some distance, they will experience a force of attractions, right? So magnetic field lines due to this attraction is given by this diagram, right? And for the second case, we see that current in each conductor is in opposite direction. In first in upward direction and in second it is in downward direction. So we have discussed about it when the current in flowing is opposite direction. in two conductors which are placed parallel to each other at some distance, they will experience a force of repulsion. Clear? So magnetic field lines is given by this diagram. In this magnetic field lines in clockwise direction, in this anti-clockwise direction, and in it clockwise direction. Okay, so when we draw magnetic field line, we see that it looks something like that. And for this conductor, magnetic field lines will be this. And at mid of the conductor, it will be linear, parallel. It will be uniform magnetic field, right? So the effective magnetic field due to current through two long linear parallel conductor carrying current in the same direction as shown in this figure, and in opposite direction as shown in this figure, right? So the pattern of magnetic field indicate that force of attraction between two parallel conductor carrying current in same direction, and force of repulsion between two parallel current carrying current in opposite direction. So I hope you are getting my point. Now, next topic is torque experienced by a current carrying loop, rectangular loop in a uniform magnetic field. Okay, so let's start. Consider a rectangular loop. Over here, PQRS is a rectangular loop which is kept in a magnetic field, right? So consider a rectangular loop PQRS suspended in a uniform magnetic field as shown in figure. Okay, PQ equal to RS is L length, and QR and SP is B. This is B as shown in this figure. This is B, right? And let I be the current flowing through the coil in the direction PQRS. Current is PQRS flowing something like this, right? And theta is the angle which plane of the coil makes with the direction of magnetic field. Here, theta is angle. So let FPQ, FQR, FRS, and FSP with the force acting on four current carrying arms P, Q, QR, RS, and SP of the coil. So the force on RSP is given by FSP is LB cross B. So we can write ILB sine theta. IBB sine theta. Okay. Now force for arm QR is given by IB cross B. So we can write FQR equal to IBV sine theta from this equation, IBV sine theta. Force SP and FQR are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction, and they cancel each other, right? Force SP and Q are equal in magnitude. When we apply Fleming's left hand rule, we will get direction of force SP is given by in this direction, in upward direction as shown in figure, and force on QR is in this direction. Okay, since magnetic field is in this direction, current is in this direction, force in magnetic field in force in upward direction. Clear? So these forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction, and they cancel out each other. Moreover, they act along the same line axis. This is the same line axis as shown in figure, and hence they do not produce torque. So I hope this point is clear to you. Clear? Direct, since the force FPQ and FSR. So let's Find out this force. Force on arm PQ is given by F. PQ is IL cross B. So we can write this magnitude of this force is given by F ILB sine 90 degree. Here sine 90 means conductor is placed. This conductor is perpendicular to magnetic field PQ. So here theta is 90 degree. It will experience maximum force. So it is ILB, right? And force experienced by arm RS is given by IL cross B. This conductor is also perpendicular to magnetic field. So we can write FRS is ILB sine 90, which is ILB. So force FPQ and FRS being equal in magnitude but opposite in direction cancel out each other. Net force is given by, we can write 0. Okay. But they act along different line of action. Force on PQ is in this and force on RS is in this, right? So these two forces act along different line of action and hence produce torque about the axis of the coil, right? Apply Fleming's left-hand rule and find the direction of these two forces so that you can understand the direction of force. Clear? So according to Fleming's rule, the direction of this force is perpendicular to the plane of the coil directed in this direction as shown in figure, and force on R as in this direction. Clear? So the direction of this force according to Fleming's left-hand rule is perpendicular to the plane of paper. Clear? So the force acting on arm PQ and RS are equal, parallel and acting in opposite direction as shown in figure along the direction along different line of axis. These two forces acts along different line of axis, so they form a couple, the effect of which the coil start rotating in anti-clockwise direction above the dotted line. This is okay. So the torque experienced by the coil, we know that for the torque we need force and arm of the couple, or we can say perpendicular distance between the force, right? So here force torque experienced by the coil is force PQ into Pn, distance between these two force, Pn, arm of the couple. So it will be torque equal to ILB cos theta, right? So we can write, if we see the top view of the coil, we see that it looks something like this. This is P, we can write, this is P, okay? And this is S. We see the top view of the coil, force F, ILB, or this is ILB, right? And this is the perpendicular distance. This is T. So we can write this is N. This is N. Clear? So Pn is given by B cos theta. For this we can write it will be B cos theta. This is theta. This is theta. So it will be B cos theta. B cos theta. Okay. So from we see from equation we see that ILB equal to B cos theta. From this figure, this is N and this is PS. We see the drop view of the coil. Okay. So Pn is B cos theta. We can see this figure. Okay. So we can write the equation. Torque is given by ILB B cos theta. I hope this is clear to you. So we know that L into V is A. A is the area of the coil. Right? We can write torque equal to ILB cos theta. Or we can write I into A B cos theta, where A equal to L into B. If N is the number of turns in the coil, so we can write torque experienced by the coil is N equal to torque equal to N I A B cos theta. Right? If phi is the angle between normal to the coil. So see in figure, this is the angle phi, normal to the coil, direction of the magnetic field. So from this figure, we see that theta equal to theta plus phi will be equal to 90 degree. It will be 90 degree. Or we can write theta equal to 90 degree minus phi. Right? So theta equal to 90 minus 5. This is 5. So we can write in this equation torque equal to IAB cos 90 minus 5, or torque equal to NIAB sin 5. So I hope this point is clear to you. NIAB sin phi, where phi is the angle between normal drawn on the plane of the coil and in the direction of magnetic field. So torque experienced by the coil is NIAB sin phi. Here IA is M. So we can write MV sin NIA is M. NIA is M. M is the magnetic dipole. We will discuss about in later. About this topic we will discuss later. So we can write torque experienced by the coil equal to MB sin theta. Okay. So here something to be noted is one must be careful in using formula in terms of cos or sin, since it depends on the angle, whether the coil or the normal to the coil. Plane of the coil is NIAB cos theta, normal to the coil is NIAB sin phi. So I hope these 2 points should be clear to you. Now there's special cases about the torque. For first case, we can write theta is 0. So what will be torque? Cos 0 is 1. So torque will be maximum. This is the case with the radial field. Clear? Now what is the vector form of torque? So vector form of torque is given by torque equal to NIAB sin phi, as we have discussed in previous slide. So we can write this torque equal to NIAB sin phi into n vector, where n unit vector is the normal to the plane of the loop. So we can write this equation torque equal to NI A cos B, or we can write torque equal to M cross V. As I told you, what is M? M equal to I into A, magnetic dipole moment, right? About this we will discuss in later. So torque experienced by coil is given by torque equal to M cross B, or we can write MB sin theta. Okay. So there are some points to be noted. First point says that coil will rotate. Coil will rotate in anti-clockwise direction from the top view. If we see the top from the top view, according to the figure, we see that coil will rotate in anti-clockwise direction about the axis of the coil, shown by the dotted line, right? Now, second point says that torque acts in upward direction along the dotted line, according to Maxwell's screw rule. We have already discussed about Maxwell's screw rule in first video of this unit. Okay. Now, if theta is 0 degree, as we have discussed, if theta phi is 0 degree, value of sine phi, value of cos phi, sine phi is 0. Okay. If phi is 0 degree, so we know that sine 0 is 0, right? So phi is 0, torque experience will be 0, right? So I hope this point is clear to you. And if phi is 90 degree, torque is maximum. Sine 90 is 1, torque maximum is NIAB. Now unit of B is given by B in Tesla, I in ampere, and A is Newton meter square, and unit of torque is in Newton into meter. The above formula for torque can be used for any loop irrespective of the state. Clear? As I told you in the previous slide, one must be careful in using the formula in terms of cos or sine, since it depends on the angle taken whether with the plane of the coil or the normal to the coil. So in this case, we have taken cases if the coil is set with its plane parallel to the direction of the field. So torque will be maximum since theta is 0 degree. And if coil is set with its plane perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field, theta is 90 degree or cos theta is 0. So torque will be minimum. Okay. Now in this slide, we have discussed if phi is 0 degree. What is phi? Phi is angle normal drawn on the plane of the coil with the direction of magnetic field. So if phi is 90 degree, torque will maximum, and phi is 0 degree, torque will be minimum or 0. So I hope these points should be clear to you. Now let's start to solve some problem related to these two topics. So first problem says that a 33 centimeter wire current carrying conductor of current 10 ampere is placed inside a solenoid perpendicular to axis. The magnetic field inside the solenoid is given to be 0.27 Tesla, right? So what is the force on the wires? So you can solve this equation, this question applying formula force equal to ILB sine theta. So here theta is, we can write theta is 90 degree. Since solenoid perpendicular axis, you have given theta is 90 degree. For second question, let's solve this question, apply this formula, theta is 90 degree. We can write F equal to ILB. Okay. And for second problem, what is the magnitude of magnetic force per unit length on a wire carrying a current of 8 ampere and making angle of 30 degree with the direction of magnetic force of 0.15. Now in this question, you have to find the magnetic force per unit length. Okay. So you have given current, angle theta, and magnetic field B. This formula you will write. So you know the formula F equal to ILB sine theta, as we have done in previous question. ILB sine theta. So F upon L from above this equation, F upon L will be F upon IB sine theta. Okay. So IB sine theta, put the values of I, B and sine theta, find the value of force per unit length. I hope this is clear to you. Next question is, two long parallel straight wire A and B. In this case, A and B carrying current of 8 ampere and 5 ampere in the same direction are separated by a distance of 4 centimeter square. The force on 10 centimeter section of wire. So you can apply formula of force experienced by two parallel conductor which are placed at some distance from each other. So formula is F equal to mu naught I1 I2 L upon 2 pi R. Right? Now in this question you have to find the whether the force will be repulsive or attractive. Okay. Now we have already discussed, if the current flowing in two conductors in same direction, force will be attractive, and current flowing in opposite direction, force will be repulsive. I hope this is clear to you. Now next is, a straight wire of mass 200 gram and length 1.5 carries a current 2 ampere. It suspends in a mid-air by uniform magnetic field B. What is the magnitude of this magnetic field? So for this, in this question, you are given a straight wire of mass 200 gram and length 1.5 centimeter carries a current of 2 ampere. It's suspended in a mid-air by a uniform magnetic field. Okay. What is the magnitude of magnetic field? So for this, the wire remains suspended in the air when upward acting magnetic force on the current carrying conductor is equal to its weight. So force will be equal to its weight. Will be equal to I L B equal to M into G. So from this equation, you have to find the value of V, right? Now next question is, the metallic rod or mass 0.3 kilogram per meter is not allowed to roll on a smooth inclined plane of angle 30 degree with horizontal by flowing a current in the rod. A magnetic field of 0.15 Tesla is acting vertical direction. Calculate the current flowing in the rod. Clear? So try to solve this question by yourselves. Okay. First, for this question, I am giving you a hint. First, draw a diagram, right? This diagram will be this, something like this. And draw free body diagram for finding the force. This is angle theta. And free body diagram as you have done in class 11. And find the component of the force and try to solve this question. This is mg cos theta. Here, there will be mg sin theta. Okay. So write equation and find the solution of this question. And next question is, in figure shows a long straight line carrying conductor. Find the magnitude of the direction of the force. Clear? In this current 3I, in this current 4I. The distance between conductor is 2R and here is R. So in first case, we have to find a net magnetic field at A. At point A here, this is point A, and net magnetic field at point A, magnetic force on conductor 2. So I hope this is clear to you.